YouTube family, it is your girl SK. Welcome to another video of I Am Sekela, home of motivation, inspiration and life in general. Today in this video we are talking about how to pass CTA first time. I know CTA is very difficult, but it is possible. There are people who have passed it first time. It is possible that you can pass it first time with the help of these hacks that I will be sharing with you today. I hope they will be able to make your journey a little bit easier and actually make you and contribute or add value to your preparation and make you pass. If you have not done already so, please if you have not already done so, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are notified as and when I upload the videos. First thing first, what I want to talk about is a routine, and I have uploaded another video of how you can stick to the routine, so I won't talk more on things that I have already posted about, but it is very important and it's a key to have a routine, and your routine needs to be clear and very specific enough so that you know, okay, what lecture are you having from 8 to 12 and what tutorial are you going to be having. So, and after that, what activity, what tutorial, exercise, what are you going to be doing? Because when we do our routine or when we do our schedules, we're not specific enough. We just say attend lecture, and when you find that in the morning that when you have to, maybe you prepare for the wrong lecture. Sometimes there are people who do that, and I am not bashing or shaming anyone, but I'm just coming with hacks of making things a little bit better. So for you to avoid that, you need to be detailed enough in your schedule and to say after the lectures or after the tutorials, whether they are online or they are in person, what exercise, what tutorial are you going to be doing? Because that will give you a clear mind as to afterwards what are you really going to be doing, so that you don't have to think, which task can I do today, maybe I can do this one tomorrow, and blah blah blah, and you end up wasting time and not achieving anything. So having a schedule and stick to the routine will help you a lot in your CTA journey. Number 2, I always talk about PEP, P-E-P. What it stands for is pre-read, engage, and post-read. Pre-reading, right? Most of people mistake it for speed reading, practicing for whatever reasons that there may be, but pre-reading is not about practicing speed reading, guys. You can't just cruise read through the lines and between the lines and then 5 minutes you are done. No, it actually has to be maybe about 20 to 30 minutes a day, because you are just trying to prepare your mind to be ready for the lecture that is going to happen, right? So what you will be doing is you will go through the slides before you go to class, and you will go through the lecture notes before you go to class, so that you are able to identify what is it that maybe you were struggling with in your degree, right? And your mind will remember that, okay, I have to pay more attention to this, I have to pay more attention in class, I need to ask this question, I remember I did this in the prior but I really struggled with it. So your mind will really remember, and it will remember things you struggled with and what you really need to be careful about actually, and maybe to do one or two exercises before you attend the lecture, so that you are able to ask the question during the lecture, and you just jot down everything that you think you need to seek clarity on during the lecture. So speed reading has to prepare your mind of what's coming the following day. If maybe it's a new standard, or it's something that you really unfamiliar with, or that you used to struggle with on your undergrad, or maybe if you did PGDA, which is bridging between your third year and your CTA, then it will help you to know, but okay, I need to pay a lot of attention when they talk about this, because this is what I struggle with the most. So that's the purpose of pre-reading. And then by engage, I mean like be here in class, in or on online, because now most of the lectures are done online, even though you guys are doing it full time because of COVID and other healthy risk and other health risks. So you need to be able to ask questions during the class. You need to show that you have pre-read, that you are on your A game, and you actually need to make sure that you understand the lecture content itself. If you do not, you need to ask as many questions as you have, because you still have a chance. You still have lecturers, you still have other people in the class that they can volunteer to answer your questions that you have asked. So by engaging, I mean be vibrant in the class, ask questions, answer others' questions, so that by answering questions, you might answer it wrong, which is great because it's solving your problems, because it just proves that you didn't understand the content correctly. So answering questions, not be ashamed of saying stupid answers, guys. Say those stupid answers during the lecture, because that is the opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to be corrected by the lecturers. Be as stupid as you can be. Don't care about what other people are saying about you. You are in this to win it. You are in this to win it. You do not care about what other people are saying, what other people are thinking that you might be stupid. You have to be stupid to pass CTA. Actually, you have to ask stupid questions, because you might not ask or might not answer someone's, but you think that that's the correct answer, and that will sit in your mind for a long time, and you will go into an exam with an incorrect thinking, with incorrect answers. So you better solve those issues now. Engage, ask questions, answer questions, make summaries. Okay, maybe you can say, maybe if they ask you, say, okay, lecturer, I don't have a question and I don't have an answer, but what I think we just learned today is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so that they are able to correct you if you are wrong. You need to be wrong as soon as possible. You need to be wrong before it's too late, because you don't want to be wrong for long, right? You need to solve your problems continuously, right? Because what leads to people making so many mistakes at the exam or at the test is because they don't ask these questions, guys. They don't answer questions, they don't give summaries, they don't give their level of understanding, so that they can be corrected by people who know, or people who know the correct answers. And you do not want these things to catch up with you later, so you rather do everything now, ASAP, right? So the the last P on PEP means post read. So post read is going back to your, I don't know what's happening. You go back to your notes. You go home. Okay, if you had live lectures, in-person lectures, you go home and you take out your notebook, you take out your slides, you take out your notes that they gave you, you take out your textbook, you learn again, you go through everything that you have done during the lecture itself, right? So then after that, you attempt a TAT. So how you attempt a TAT is you do not look at textbook, you do not look at lecture notes, you do not look at lecture slides. It's just you and your standard and the question that is in front of you that you have to answer. Because the purpose of a tutorial or an assignment is to test your knowledge of the content. So if you go back to your textbook, if you go back to your notes, if you go back to your lecture slides, you are actually sabotaging yourself, right? You are cheating yourself, you are cheating the process, because you won't pick up what it is that you didn't capture correctly, that you didn't understand from the lecture itself. So the purpose of a tutorial, the purpose of an assignment or an objective test is to test whether or not you understood the lecture. So don't cheat, don't make shortcuts, stay in the process, do things exactly the way they are supposed to be done. So that is PEP number 1. Very important. Never cheat yourself. Do PEP always, all the time, right? The second thing that you, the third thing, because I spoke about routine, I spoke about PEP. So the third thing that you need to do is, to actually have diligence. Diligence is persistence and carefulness, work, effort, which means that you need to be persistent, you need to work continuously, consistently, every single day. So that researchers shows that it takes 21 days for humans to get into habit, right? So do the same things at the same time. Wake up every day. Let's say, for example, if you wake up every day at 6 a.m., do that every day. So it will never be difficult for you to wake up. Whether it's raining, windy, sunny, whatever the weather is, nothing is standing between you and waking up. And an alarm will ring. After a while, you will just wake up before your alarm rings actually, and go to sleep at the same time, so that you don't struggle and toss and turn before you can sleep. So if you're sleeping late, maybe let's say 11 p.m., do that every day and have a schedule to say that just before I sleep, for the last time, I just look at my notes, 3 pages of my notes of what I've learned and my summaries. You just read your summaries. You know that it's the things that you do before you sleep or before you get off bed and get started for the day, so that it's easy for you to stick to your routine. It's easy for you to be consistent. You need to be strong. If you have planned to study at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., maybe let's say while you are waiting for another lecture, maybe that, or a TAT that will start in the evening or in the afternoon at 4 p.m. So what will you be doing in between? You don't just get into a car and go to a mall and go shopping because you have nothing scheduled. You can do some exercise that you have planned to do, because you know before time what lecture are you having and what free time are you having. Are you free from what time up until what time? So you need to have that, put it on your wall and do it every day. When you are tired, take a break. Do not stop. You take a break, but you do not stop working. You take a break, you come back, you start again. And for you to work diligently, right, to be in that zone of being consistent and persistent and diligent, you need, sometimes if you are studying from the comfort of your home, you bound to maybe want to relax a bit. You have your couch, you are in your comfortable space, you have your couch, you have your TV, you have your fridge. You can go after 2 minutes and have some scoops of ice cream, or maybe your neighbors are making noise, or you like your views, you like to go out, open your slide door and look at the views, or whatever it is. So if staying in your apartment or staying at home is disturbing you, and you are not actually as effective as you would be had you been in a different environment, then I advise that you go and study in a different environment, maybe at an local library. I know there are a lot of free local libraries that people can now use, so you can go to a local library and study there the whole day. No one will disturb you there. Nothing is standing between you and your progress, not even a refrigerator, right? And you can go to a coffee shop. You don't need to have a lot of money. You are not bougie by studying or working from the coffee shop. Everyone's there. They have a laptop and they have something on the side. You can maybe buy 1 cup of coffee which is 15 rands, and you don't even have to buy coffee every day. If they know you, you can just maybe buy it once a week, and then they're gonna say, oh, Siyamazi uSekela, we know she used to study here, blah blah blah. Or if you're already at varsity, then maybe you can get out of your res and go to study at the library. I used to study at the library a lot, and that's actually what helped me to stick to my routine, because I knew I'm waking up at 6 a.m. Wake up at 6 a.m, go and jog for 45 minutes, and then take a shower. At 7:45, when the securities are opening at the library, they knew me. I didn't even had to present my student card anymore, because they knew me. I'm always there. By the time they open, I'm standing outside finishing off my coffee that I have, and I'm just chilling. So by the time they open, it's like, oh, come in, we're done. Or are you still drinking your coffee? Or so you also create relationships with the security guards, so that they are nice to you. When they have to close, they don't have to rush you, or if they say they close at 9, they don't chase you out at 8:30. Maybe you can go at 5 to 9 when they are actually closing their doors. So yeah, so that's how I was able to stay dedicated. I used to do things at the same time every day. Wake up and jog and come back. If it's raining, I just chill a bit, or take a 5 minutes prayer, or take whatever it is that I feel like doing, or make breakfast, and then I bath, and then I take my bags and go to the library, because I knew in my at res, not that people were making noise. There was no noise at all. Nothing was disturbing me. I was just used to aircon and used to the water fountain. Because I don't know how, but that water from that water fountain was nice and different, and the environment is changed, and I was able to focus the whole day with taking breaks in between. So if you are struggling and you really feel like you're not dedicated, you can change of an environment. If you, maybe your mother or whatever it is, they have an office that you can use, then you can go ahead and use that space. Fourth thing that you need to do is you need to work smart. What do I mean by working smart is sticking to the process. So the only time that you have an opportunity to look at your textbook or to do theory, right, is when you are post reading, or you are on PEP process. So that is the only time you have to start from your textbook, when you are doing the PEP process, right? Let's say now you are preparing for DP test 1, or you are preparing for an exam. I have lot of people, so many people who I have mentored, every time they have to write a test, they come to me, and then maybe I just ask them how far are they, how are they feeling before they just write their test. They ask me, Sekela, what is your approach? Do you think it's smart if I start by studying theory? And this question has always made me shocked, number one, and I don't hide it and I don't judge. But guys, you cannot be asking those kinds of questions. I mean, what have you been doing all year long? Let's say now it's time for exam, you still want to go back to theory. For what? I don't get it. I don't understand, guys, and I don't think that anyone can actually make me understand, because the process, it says, right, PEP. You pre-read, you look at lecture notes, you look at lecture slides, you browse through your textbook, you go to a lecture, you engage, you ask questions, you look at your textbook, you post-read. Afterwards, you go to home, you look at your textbook, you see things that you do not understand, and you read through your textbook for understanding, right? So that's the process that you need to have. Now, when you are about to write the test or an exam, there is no reason, there is no need for you to start from the textbook. There is no need at all for you to do that, because you have already done that. You already have the basic knowledge. You are sticking to the process, guys. You are trusting yourself. You have learned, you have done everything that you were supposed to do. There is no need for you to go back to theory, because, guys, you are doing the same things again. You are wasting your time. You need now to get into an exam technique, right? You need to get into understanding, okay, when the required is looking like this, how do I break it down to get into this conclusion, right? So, because you can't just read the question and read the scenario and then boom, you give an answer. You need to have a thinking process, right? You need to have a trail of thought. Go to a process where maybe they ask a question about audit planning, right? Maybe you are doing auditing, so you know you need to have like pre-engagement activities, you have planning activities. What is included under pre-engagement activities? And the requirement is not going to say what are the pre-engagement activities, right, before signing, like maybe, okay, before you can actually starting to execute an audit. The required is not going to be like that. You're going to be given a scenario, right, of maybe you are ABC auditors, you are auditing XYZ company, they're into manufacturing, maybe they're manufacturing jerseys, it's an owner owned, it's a it's owned maybe by a few people, and they have what experiences, and these are the accounting things that are happening around. So you understand the whole business process that they are doing, and then they're actually asking you asking you what needs to be done. So you need to be able, guys, to answer what is required, because some other requireds, they are very, very confusing. So if you keep on doing theory, you will never ever have an opportunity to learn, to actually able to be able to unpack what is required and into a final answer. You will never be able to unpack what is required into a final answer. I know I was speaking to someone last week that I won't mention in by name, and they told me, we were actually laughing about CTA struggles, because we were sitting with trainees who are still doing their CTA. So he says to me, he was asked to do an income statement, and he did all the, you know, when you have your workings, you show that, okay, revenue, we need to this plus this plus this plus that, whatever the case may be. So he had workings The structure of the income statement does not appear anywhere in his answers. So his lecturer asked him, like, what were you required to do? And then he said, statement of comprehensive income. And then he was asked, so where is it? I don't see it in the answer. And then they paged through the response, his script. They paged through it, and it is nowhere found in the script. So it's like, you were not answering the required. So how many marks should I give you? The fact that I asked you to prepare a statement of comprehensive income and I do not see it. Yes, I see the workings, but where are the workings going? And that ended up getting a zero, guys, because you are doing workings for what? Like, what are you doing there? What are they going? Like, you were not asked to do workings. You were asked to do an income statement. Where is it? Yes, we see those calculations. Where are they going to? You were not asked to do calculations. That's the truth. Because he was complaining that at least I should get marks for... You are not asked. Answer what you are asked. So if you keep doing theory, you are bound to make those mistakes of writing calculations and never answer what was actually required. Even if maybe you can get 100% correct workings, if you do not answer what is required, your workings amount to zero, because you did not answer what was required. You were not asked to do workings. You were asked to write a report. You were asked to do whatever it is. Make sure that you are answering the required. So my quick question to say, do I start from theory or do I do practice questions, is do practice questions. And if you are not able to do that, how do you know that you don't know? What makes you want to go back to study theory that you have already done? Unless you tell me, Sekela, I only start now. I have not studied, I've never attended lectures, I've never done tutorials, I've never done assignments, and I have a test next week, and then what do I do? But if you are in the process and you've been doing PEP, and like you had lectures and you did some assignments and you have done some tutorials, then why do you think that you need to start by studying from the textbook? Because it's not going to bring you to a space where you really have a good exam technique, right? Because you need to have a good exam technique for you to get correct answers in the exam or in the test. So always, if you were sticking to the process and you have done everything that you needed to do, don't question yourself, don't ask anyone, don't ask me where you need to start. You need to do questions, more questions, revise. And after you have done that, you need to make notes. You need to mark yourself, you need to make notes, you need to read the examiner's comments. If you're doing past papers, you need to read the examiner's comments. What are the common mistakes that the students were making? Because you don't want to make those same mistakes if you are faced with a similar question in a test or in an exam. So you are learning from others' mistakes so that you don't make them. You are learning from your mistakes when you are doing the practice questions, past papers, whatever paper you are doing, you are marking yourself so that you can learn from your mistakes, so that you do not make those mistakes in the real test or in the real exam. So study smart. Studying smart is sticking to the process. Do everything that you need to do daily. You don't need to panic to say, when will I get to answer this? No, it's a process. Stick to it. Be patient enough to say, I have to look at notes, so that you do those things now, so that when you have to write an exam or a text, you don't have to go back to study theory. Do your theory every day. That's what you are supposed to do. The first question that I ask people who ask me whether they should do theory or question, I ask, what have you been doing all year long? And it's an honest question. What have they been doing? Because according to me, you need at least, it's what you're supposed to be doing daily. So you are telling me you have not learned, you've not attended lectures, you have not done tutorial, you have not attended tutorial classes, and you are now coming up with damage control where you're saying theory or questions, right? So guys, be smart, stick to your process, and then when you're about to write an exam or a test, you do questions first. Why am I saying do questions before you go back to your test book? Is because that is a very efficient and effective way for you, because it will highlight the areas or what it is in a specific topic that you do not understand, in a specific calculations. What is it that you do not understand, instead of you wasting time and reading the whole topic from the textbook of things that you already know. So it will highlight what is it that you're really struggling with, and it will give you an opportunity to fix it ASAP. So do more practice questions all the time. And if you are fighting with me, we can fight on the comments below, because on this one I am not letting it go. I am right and everyone else is wrong, right? If everyone else is thinking that every time they have to write an exam or a test they have to start by doing theory, then something is wrong with me. But they do say that CTA is no one size fits all approach. So if it's working for you to do theory whole year and you never have to attempt questions and you never have an opportunity to attempt questions, then be it. Do it if it has worked, and if it's still working and you highly believe it's the only way that will help you, you do that. Some people are fast learners and some people are actually smart. They do not need to do some practice, but I'm a firm believer of hard work and an advocate of hard work, and I find smart ways to study so that you guys are successful the first time around. So you don't have time, really. You don't have time. So just do questions. Number 5, take time out. Take some breaks, guys. I know a lot of people, they burn out, or they are too tired, they are exhausted, and they feel like not doing anything. So for example, if you are doing CTA full time, right, so you have classes every day, you are not working, all you do is to study, right? So maybe take Sunday or Saturday, the whole day off, doing nothing, not looking at standards or anything or thinking about CTA. Just do whatever is it that you enjoy, so that you do not burn out. People who burn out, it's hard workers. So give your mind time to rest. Give your mind time to reflect, so that it's not too tired when you need it the most, because your mind is the greatest tool that you will need on the day of test and on the day of the exams, right? You might have everything, but if your mind is not on your side, you've already failed. There's nothing that you can do. If you're burnt out, if it's too much, if you're exhausted and you can't do anything, your mind will not assist you in achieving it. You're going to fail. So you need it to be on your side. You need your mind to work at its best for you. So give it time. Be patient with yourself. Give it time to rest, right? You won't finish. You're not trying to be in the top 10 here. You are just trying to pass, so that you don't do the same thing again and again, right? And it gets harder as you repeat it, instead of getting easier. So you just need to make sure that you don't put yourself through too much pressure and urgent need to pass. You actually have time to think, reflect, be patient with yourself, and you just relax so that your mind is able to pace up again. It's able to have energy to start studying and to work again. So we've spoken about PEP, we've spoken about working smart, fatigue, dedication. You need to have positive mentality. You need to be in a good mental state for you to survive. CTA, have positive attitude. When you fail, you say this is not over. When you fail a test, you say this is not over. Let me mark myself. Where have I gone wrong? What did I do wrong? And you go back to the lecturer to say, I'm trying to solve this. Please help me. Help me do better next time. Help me understand this topic better. I see I have failed. It's not yet over. The sooner you get back on your feet, the sooner you solve your problems, the sooner you realize that it has nothing to do with your how smart and how stupid you are, the better, because it's just a process, right? It's just a process. Understand, it's just a process. Yes, you have failed. You have an opportunity to do better next time, and you will actually pass it next time if you fix your problems. So you need to stay positive, have a positive mind, think positive to yourself. You are going to make it. You are sticking to the process. You are working every day. You are sticking to your schedule. You are doing PEP. You are asking questions. You are doing everything that you have to do. Relax. It's gonna go well. Relax. It's gonna go well. Trust yourself. Trust in your abilities. If you cannot trust in God that He will not leave you nor forsake you, greater is He that is in you than the one in the whole world. In your weaknesses, His strength comes to you. You have faith, you love, and you actually trust that God is going to make things happen for you. He has great plans for you, including plans to prosper you. So worry not. Do what you are supposed to do. Do your best and let God do the rest. Right, guys? And you need to have maybe your body moving. Maybe do squats or run or jog, whatever it is, so that you can have energy from your body to your mind. Right, guys? And be careful of too much caffeine. Too much caffeine causes anxiety, and you do not want to have anxiety or stresses on your CTA. If you are dealing with anxiety, I have another video of how to deal with an anxiety before you write an exam. If you have a person who suffers from anxiety when you have to write a test, I have a video for you. And stress, I have a video for you. Go and watch that video. So right, guys, I think I have said everything that I needed to say. Stay in the process. Stick to the process. Motivate yourself. You know, motivation comes from within, right? So the sooner you personalize or find something that motivates you, the better, right? It's gonna make you wake up in the morning. It's gonna get you going, right? So stick to your routine. It doesn't matter if it's raining or if it's cold or hot or windy. Whatever the weather is, you will work anyway. Stick to your routine. Be consistent. Consistently seek clarity on things that you are unclear about. Solve your problems. Solve your confusions now. The sooner you do that, the better. Be stupid enough to ask and answer stupid questions and give stupid comments during the lecture, because you will have an opportunity to be corrected, so that you don't sit or you don't stay with wrong understanding. And actually anything and everything that you have done, that you have revised, that you know of, is correct information, right? So take care of yourself, take care of your mental wellness, and I wish you all the best. May things work for you. CTA is falling in 2021. I don't want you to do the same thing again. I'm sure you also don't want to do the same thing over and over. Please subscribe if you have not done that already, and hit a notification bell. Thank you for your love and support. I love you always, and I'm looking forward to another video. Goodbye.